Hey, what's going on, GPgaming? This is Sviatoslav with more Total War Attila. Now, I know almost every other video is live, but my shadow play wasn't working when the game started, so I just had to save the replay and talk about the replay, do a cast of the replay. So that's what I'm doing. I chose the Tanukids. I brought 6 Mavia's Lancers, 3 Desert Tribemen, 4 Desert Palatina Defectors, and 4 Tanukid Ambushers with the Desert Chieftain Warlord. I put 1 Tanukid Ambusher, so these guys, they have guerrilla deployment. So I put 1 over here on this mountain and 1 over here on this mountain. And the Cavs are already charging in. I pop Frenzy Charge, so my Mavia's chosen have 377 charge bonus on the charge. They are going to destroy this Equitas Dalmate. Absolutely annihilate them on the charge. See how fast they're dropping. So I'm moving up the rest of my army. I see he has a lot of expensive missile units, these Ballastarii, and the elite Ballastarii, and some horse archers. So I need to get in to his melee and do the damage. And I see he has a lot of spearmen, so I'm confident that my swordsman, my Soul 9 can take care of. So he has his missiles out in the open, so I'm gonna go ahead and charge in there. I see that his horse archers are just chilling there, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to charge in. And it looks like he turned skirmish mode off, but he's not microing his units, so I'm gonna get a charge into his. And look at that! Look at how fast they drop to the Mavia's chosen. That's crazy. I love these guys. Now I'm moving in my Tanukid ambushers. These guys are great. They do so much damage. But they're kind of like the Mavia's chosen. They do insane damage, especially on the charge. But they're very light. They have almost no armor. So they are not good for prolonged melee or getting shot at. So I get into the pikes, that's good. The Desert Tribesmen, these are my basically Desert Nordic band. They don't have precursors. They're not quite as good as Nordic band, but they have better melee stats. So they can actually do some damage if you get a rear charge. So I managed to take out his horse archers. And I'm tying down his melee units. I'm surrounding him with my general and the rest of my infantry. I'm bringing up my guys. He's happy to just sit here and not really move much. I get into his Ballastarii. He's bringing up his spearmen into my general. I pull my general out. I'm gonna get into the back of this Menelator. Do some damage. And then I need to pull out. I need to get away from those elite spearmen. So Tanukid ambush is coming in. These guys are just gonna wreck everything. They do a ton of damage. Like, it's crazy. Tanukid ambushers, if they get the charge off on a unit, especially a rear charge, that unit is just gonna die. So this guy's pretty much screwed at this point. His cavalry died really early on. I still have all my cavalry, all my Mavia's chosen to get rear charges in. Here we go, cycle charging in. Into the general, into the back of these swords. Just doing tons of damage with the Mavia's chosen. The only rules for this game were no artillery. So my infantry here is losing. My Desert Tribesmen, well, of course they're losing. They only cost 275, they're really cheap. But my flanks, I'm just rolling up his flanks. I've got all these Desert Palatina Defectors, Tanukid ambushers on the flanks, and his units are getting rear charged. So I mean, clearly this opponent was of much lower skill than me, and he had arguably had a much worse army composition. So, but yeah, I mean, I can almost never find a quick match, so I always just do custom battles. And especially here at nighttime on the west coast of the United States, there's really not that many people on. That's why I've been playing more Rome 2 recently, because I've past a week or so, I've only really had time to play in the evening, and that's typically when there's not a lot of people on Attila. So there we go. The battle was over that fast. Didn't have a good setup, didn't micro his units really hardly at all. Charged his cavalry into an engagement they were going to lose. So you can see I only lost 587 people. He lost 1,700. So let's see, what got the kills? Tanukid ambushers got the kills. Desert Palatina defectors got some kills, and Mavia's Chosen getting the kills. Eastern Roman Empire, he had the most kills was on one of his Eastern Armored Legio, and it had 87 kills, and it was on Desert Tribesmen. So I'd say none of his units were cost effective this game. See, his Cav, not even 10 kills against my Mavia's Chosen. And the kills they did get was probably just from the Precursor Javelins. So yeah, the Tanukids are really good at rushing. They have excellent shock cav, excellent, not quite shock infantry, but they're shock infantry in the sense that they have high attack and low defense, but they're not quite two-handed shock infantry, but they have their use. I like using these the Tanukids. They're not OP as fuck like Himyar is with the Athar's Chosen. And I definitely like the Tanukids the most out of all of the desert factions. Axum's kind of cool because they get those Spice Guards, the Axemen, as well as archers, and they get the good sword units. They get Beher's Chosen. Yeah, those guys are pretty good. They're better than the Himyarite Shotalai, or not him, than the Kushite Shotalai, which all the other desert factions get, which are kind of like better UR warriors, to put it simply. They're heavier. But yeah, this was a pretty quick game.